Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to CinemaQuestria Riffs. Oh, boy, we've got a real whopper of one for you guys today. Mr. Ben, do you care to explain this one for us?
Yes, this one is called Space Thunder Kids. This is basically a very, very bad, humongous mecha that was pseudo-anime released in 1991. The film is about three children, or three teams with three children each, depending on how you want to interpret it, that can pilot giant robots trying to defeat the bad army called the Dark Empire. There's some space opera elements thrown in with advanced space stations and dogfights going on in space, or at least that would technically be what it is, only the thing is that it's actually a not really actual animated film. This is basically the result of one guy by the name of Joseph Lai who bought South Korean cartoons on the cheap and basically hacked and slashed and butchered them to basically cut and paste to make an entirely new feature. This is basically just a benchmark case of like the most extreme account of the animators just not caring by putting all of these different shows together. This one film that's about a little over, not quite 90 minutes, was edited from footage from 8 different films. The Savior of the Earth, Defenders of Space, also known as Phoenix Bot Phoenix King, the Cosmos Conqueror, also known as simply Robot King, Super Express Magister Z, also known as Protectors of the Universe, Solar Adventure, Micro Commander Dytron 5, also known internationally as Space Transformer, Super Mazinger C, and Cheolin Samchongza, which is also known as the Iron Man Trio. All of these aforementioned movies are basically rip-offs of other anime. So, essentially, what we've got here is a giant film that is basically a giant knockoff made out of bits and pieces of other knockoffs.
So this is like an environmentally friendly film? It's regurgitating rubbish to create a whole new film?
Only instead of getting good stuff, we just get more rubbish.
Yeah. Well, see, the funny thing is that because of this, like I said, I mean, the idea is that you're supposed to be focusing on this group of kids, supposedly called the Space Thunder Kids. The thing, however, though, is that there's like a random focus on at least 3 different space traveling groups, but the problem is that none of these groups ever do anything of importance, none of them intersect, and none of them ever last longer than a scene or two. Because of this, it becomes totally impossible to discern exactly who's the bad guys and who's the heroes, because everything all looks the same.
Oh, dear God.
That's a good way of looking at it.
So, yeah.
Oh.
This sounds like quality with a capital Q. No, I mean K.
I was going to say, don't
Sorry.
you mean a K?
Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right.
But yeah, you're going to see a lot of interesting things here because there's just I don't really want to spoil it, but it's
So then let's get to it.
Yeah.
Yes, get on with it.
Why do I get the feeling that I'm just going to be raging at this one, though? Because I'm going to be so confused. Anyway, you guys ready?
Yep.
My beer says I'm ready.
All right. On 1. 3, 2, 1.
Circle.
This sounds like a blooming news article starting with this music.
So yeah, this guy.
Space Kids. The evil forces of the Dark Emperor threaten the entire universe.
And we start off with what sounds to be like a trailer.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, it feels like a trailer for like the first 2 or 3 minutes that I saw when I was sort of downloading this, and I've never actually seen this all the way through, so this is going to be an experience, that's for sure.
Aren't you guys excited?
So yeah, you can already take a look.
Attention,
Oh.
everyone to your battle
I was just gonna say, yeah, you can already see some of the butchering right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quality sort of seems to be very up and down already. And I mean quality in the loosest possible terms.
Q, melt, explosion.
Yeah, that was a weird melty explosion.
Just get a look at all this recycled footage. This really is the eco-friendly video.
Just think of all the trees they saved. Is that no, seriously, was that just looped just then? That's
Yes,
just
it was.
ridiculous.
And if you think that's bad, wait until we get near the end.
I was just gonna say, it gets worse.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
What?
Wait, who are these?
That's probably the one question we're going to be constantly asking ourselves.
You know, the concept of introducing who these characters are might actually help me care about the movie.
Well, if you're gonna start off with some action, it better be interesting.
No, it's on the desert. What?
I'm confused. Okay, movie, yes, you've told me now 3 times that this is Space Thunder Kids. I'm pretty sure we now know what this movie is.
Gotta just love this inconsistency. We go from space ships a la, say, Star Wars to Gundam.
What?
And yeah,
What? Oh, that... What, the trailer is part of the what?
the trailer is part of the film, yes.
What? Huh? I'm confused.
I have been waiting a
Also,
very
why will those
long
clouds...
time
Do those clouds keep recycling themselves? It's scaring me.
The powerful army has been assembled. You will be invincible in battle.
Ugh.
Through your victories, all the precious energy in the universe will be under my control, and all human resources will be mine to direct and use as I wish.
So basically, this
Somebody
guy's
is paying me
plan
to
is
say these
Now
lines.
the time has come for you, my imperial
So basically, this
army,
guy's plan
show
is to,
your
of course,
might and loyalty
take
to
over the world.
Well, like all
Of course.
battle and destroy the miserable revolutionaries, thereby ensuring for me the complete and undisputed control of the
Milking the giant cow, always a requirement. Remember, if you're not hammy enough to chew the scenery, you have to make it up with wild gestures.
Oh, this scene. I think it gets repeated like 12 times or something.
What the hell? We've just seen that. I'm just gonna feel like I'm gonna be having deja vu a lot, aren't I?
You are. Trust me.
Oh, line? Line, anyone? Line? No?
Yeah, even the characters in the show are like, what's going on here?
Emergency. Unknown object approaching. Impact in 10 seconds.
You're kidding. I don't detect any object approaching on my control. Look at that flashing out there. Oh my God! It's coming right toward us.
We better just stay here posing silly.
Hang on a minute, why did just that guy roll backwards and no one
Don't
else?
panic. Everyone stay in your positions. We'll go through it.
And see, and he jumbles right backwards again.
Oh my gosh, I just... Sorry, Mr. Ben, but go on.
It's like the selective gravity is only affecting him and nobody else.
Isn't it
Stay
always?
calm. Change our heading and get out of here as
I
soon
hate
as
it when that
possible.
happens.
What?
Run, it's some pink asteroids. They're gonna infect you with their pinkness.
The party virus.
There's a metallic object very close to
Oh, there's blue asteroid now. Hey, as long as it doesn't mate with a pink one.
Ugh.
Wait, are these rocks sentient or something?
I couldn't tell you. Just don't put them in your mouth.
I love how he was looking at the screen for like a good 3 or 4 seconds before he decides to think, I think I should mention about this.
On top of that, what is he looking at? It's nothing more than a battleship, the game screen. But, where's anything else?
I don't see
I
it.
had an LCD, really posh version of Battleship, and it looked better than that crap on screen.
Starship is the pride of the galaxy. It is our sworn duty to fight against the Dark Emperor. I am the chief commander of this space vessel, but I'm surrounded by a crew of fools. How can you say something is there when it is not? We will never triumph with this kind of incompetence.
I'm acting!
I was just going to say that.
Yes, sir. It won't happen again.
God, these
The captain got real angry.
editing is...
Really chewed me out good.
You see fan videos with better editing than this. It's scary. Well, let's be fair, you could call this a fan video, I suppose.
And you saw it.
It was
I
just
know what
as
you
soon
meant.
as the captain came up to look at the screen that it disappeared. Something strange is going on.
God,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
already
starring in
getting
this
out there.
terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a mineral in them that interferes with our scanners.
But how can we prove that to the captain?
Well, if it's just radiation interference, we can measure the levels of the gamma sensors from different parts of the ship.
Okay, then. Let's do it. Right.
Let's throw
Listen
some
to us
techno-
trying to sound smart.
That's me every day, though.
Meanwhile, in another piece of edited footage,
You can even see the animation difference.
During his last few days, we've had some strange interference from.
Yeah, it's not like they tried to find a number of different, animes that kind of look similar in style. They do look quite different.
Yeah, but we...
Like I said, the people here I don't think they really just gave a crap of.
now I have a hard time buying that anyone cared about this, and I don't mean about the guy who created this. I mean more or less the voice actors and actresses. They sound about as enthused with this as
Well, now that's really strange.
going to
Can't
the
it?
dentist or something.
It now looks as though it's moving towards us and closer.
Sounds more like that. I'm getting a paycheck. I don't care how stupid this is. Pretty much what the Teen Titans voice actors basically said when they came up with them, saying, "Oh, we've got this Teen Titans Go show coming up." It's like, yeah, as long as you give me the money, I'm not bothered.
And those waffles.
Cruise alert.
Hey, if you can get paid the money they get paid just for saying the word waffles over and over, would you turn it down?
I have an
Absolutely
announcement
not.
to make. Listen, everyone, our situation is critical. We are being approached by an unknown spacecraft, but our defense shield system is not responding.
Those
And all our
sweat beats.
communications have been jammed, so I declare a red alert emergency. The Dark Emperor is on to us, and we must be ready to fight. Good luck.
And fading out to some different footage, I take it. By the way, I'm already completely lost on the story.
Trust me, so am I. And you know what? I'm just accept it. Just accept the fact that there's not going to be anything good here. If you can buy that, you can get through this actually pretty darn well.
To ensure his total victory. Of all the innumerable...
I will
now
say
we've got
the
another trailer.
has just reached the most beautiful
The
of all.
the animation of the animes that they're showing here isn't terribly awful, I suppose. I've seen worse, but I don't know. It's obviously it's just so jarring when you see something so different put in front of you that's supposed to be the same thing.
That's just it. Is alone
Yeah.
these animations are they're a product of their time. This looks about 80s-ish. So I expect that it looks like. It
I
was
think
something
Initial
new.
D has better animation, and that's not counting the car scenes.
But the inconsistency in animation, yeah, in the stylings, yeah, it's a giant. It's terrible.
Cluster fruitcake.
Oh no,
I still
it's
think the
Ratu.
animation. Run! It's Godzilla!
And now we got Voltron guys.
That's excellent. Let's start the transformer right away.
Yes,
Or
sir.
what looks like to be Voltron anyway.
Awaiting your orders.
Ready for launching. Open the launch bay.
Tron really was a big thing in the 80s and 90s.
Ready to launch and let's go. Launch.
I mean, you had Voltron, Megatron, Tron, Tron the movie.
Wait, now it's Transformers?
Yep.
Hey, it's still better than anything Michael Bay said.
Just passed through the atmosphere very smoothly.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work. I'm proud of you.
Did, I should mean,
It's
not
our
said.
duty to search out the
Well,
dark
said
emperor
too, because
spacecraft
he
regardless
sounds
of
like an
danger.
idiot in interviews as well too. But
The research center right away.
Michael Bay's either the greatest genius of filmmakers who's ever lived, or one of the stupidest.
Couldn't we search just a little while longer?
he's good at making money. That doesn't mean that, but making money is not necessarily a sign of making quality.
No, but that's my point. Is he's good at making money.
So here we go.
And that's all shareholders care about.
Well, I was going to say more or less, what does
Michael
that say
Bay knows
about
how
the
to make
audience?
money, and he only has to do two things. He only has to have two things in his movies: explosions and tits.
I was just going to say, let
Oh,
me guess.
actually, I was going to say our shots, but you know,
We'll just say sexy women.
Wow. I've never
Yeah,
seen anything like that
that'll do.
before. Neither have I.
Basically, he gets through the audience through the male's genitalia, basically.
What's wrong? Am I scaring you or what?
Be quiet, you two. This is no time for
I'll
joking
give
around.
Michael Bay credit. At least he knows his audience.
Oh no, I think it's preparing to attack.
Unlike this film, which doesn't seem to know who or what it's trying to appeal to, or what it even is.
This
Oh,
is like
no.
schizophrenia, the film.
I'm supposed to be scared.
I
Wait, I'm
love how
supposed
the
to be
giant-
feeling things?
I love how the giant flying top is like just fading in and out of reality practically.
That was a close call.
Too close. We
It's
gotta
not
go
a
check
Doctor
it
Who
out.
phase shift, I'll say that much.
Yeah.
Hey, where did it go? I don't like this. Let's get out of here.
I don't understand it. It just disappeared.
There it is.
All these just shock shots.
Yeah.
Like, gasp, gasp, gasp.
It's reused animation. I'm sorry, the reused animation is just gold.
What was the budget for this, even if there was a budget? Or was it just literally this guy found a load of old animes that someone had got and basically thought, hey, I could make a movie out of these?
Basically, that was it. They just, like I said, the guy just took like 8 cheap animes, just bought them on the cheap, and just hack and slash them in together to create something and create this.
I love how you didn't call this a film or a plot or anything, you just said this. This thing.
That's that's exactly what it is. It's a thing.
Have to change over to another strategy. Solar Mac 1.
To be fair, I'm enjoying this more than Breadwinners, even though this makes even less sense.
That's saying something.
I suppose it helps that it's made by people that probably didn't know better. Or did know better, but knew that this was going to be schlock and just, yeah.
You know, when I watch my space operas, one of the things that I enjoy is when the fight scenes are entertaining and very fast-paced. A lot of these ships, I swear.
That ship looks like it's dangling from a piece of string, I'm sorry.
That's exactly. That's exactly it. They look like they're just like. You know when you're stuck behind a guy going about 35 and a 40 or something? That's about
Yeah.
what this fight scene is like.
By the way, that's miles per hour for anyone that's watching from a European audience.
Yeah. I should.
Well, except for us in England, we still use miles per hour. No, don't know why. 'Cause
Well-
we mostly use metric, but no, we still use imperial for when it comes to things with cars.
Well, you get my point, though, is that
Must have come from
miles per hour, kilometers per hour, same
It's
difference.
like being
exactly
stuck
what I
behind
was
an old person when they're driving, pretty
exactly.
much.
And 4 years later...
Meanwhile, at the International Science Conference...
You know, I wonder if we just muted it and said random things over the lines, and we could probably get a more sensible movie.
I am Commander Dolly, and I have been chosen by the Dark Emperor.
I'd be willing to try that one day.
You had better surrender. And
We also should try The Room,
You dubs.
and also that scene in the Star Wars Holiday Special where the Wookiees are talking.
So
What
virtually
we
all of
actually,
them.
what we translate for them.
Yeah.
Trying to remember when this one guy comes in.
Hey, look, there's a strange unidentified...
There's a hell of a lot of people just looking at screens in this. If I want to do that, I could just watch Digimon.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Rawr.
Where did this monster come from? Who created it? What?
It looks like the Predator.
What?
It's like the Predator's illegitimate son or something.
What, you
Okay.
mean he was having a love affair with Barney or
I think it's time for cam number 1.
Hey, I've nearly finished my bottle. I might need more.
All these reused faces, it's like they cut and paste just like the same guy over and over.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Wait, this explosion is frozen in time.
And now it's become a slideshow.
See, this is what happens when your budget's already at the bottom of the barrel.
Seriously, I've seen more animated flick books.
Our technology can even bring natural disasters to this earth.
Oh, look, there's some creasing on the oh, that's supposed to be rain.
And just when he thought it couldn't be worse, acid rain!
You know,
Well, to be-
rain in... Go ahead.
I was going to say, well, to be fair, this whole place is already nothing but a shithole anyway, but...
I'm sorry, why did we need to see a load of pictures of barren, rocky wasteland?
Just puts you in the mood,
Fascinating.
of course.
What, in the mood for beer?
We will not bow to the threats.
Oh my gosh, bad idea of the day. Do not mix salsa and alcohol.
Ask how distinguished guests. Say a few words. Dr. Sun.
The Dark Emperor has the ambition to conquer the entire universe. We have known about his evil intentions for years.
I've never tried dancing while having beer, so you know.
To invent a weapon that would be powerful enough to defend us against him. Fortunately, we have developed the capability
That reverse shot.
not only to defend ourselves, but to defeat the Dark Emperor. Let me show you. We have Zoratech 2, Solar Knight
We have Zortek 2 with this reused
and
footage.
Tiger SX3.
The same thing with even more reused footage. And now
So
these
this
three
is-
robots from some other series that we have absolutely no affiliation with.
I just get the feeling that these are like Thunderbirds, but basically on a budget of $5.
The Dark Emperor with these?
That's too much.
Well, his army is very powerful. I will grant you that.
I'd hate to think what their
But
Tracy
I am
Island would look
confident
like.
we will ultimately be able to defeat
Wait, this film is public domain? That means that at one point it was in the copyright system? Someone actually paid for a copyright for this film?
Well, yeah, it technically got a. I'd assume it technically got a release on DVD
Our invasion must be a
or video, probably VHS actually. I doubt anyone would have bothered putting it onto DVD, to be honest.
Also, hi King, hi not King Piccolo.
Support me, then I can give you all the help you need. Very good.
What's his power level?
What does the scouter say about it? About Kim Jong-un's power level? Doesn't that look like Space Kim Jong-un?
It does.
Oh,
Space Admiral Kim Jong-un.
Don't worry, gentlemen. Sir, I
I'm
shall
so
definitely succeed,
lonely.
and when I do, I will most certainly
Oh,
repay you
man.
many times over.
You just got to ignite the light. Let it shine.
Another problem
We must
Because
get rid of
baby,
Dr.
you're
Sun.
a
He still stands firmly in
fine.
our
You
way.
work.
Get rid of Dr. Sun? Who's he?
He is the one who is in possession of the control program of the 3 dastardly Transformers, Solomach 1, Zortek 2, and Tiger SX3. He is our enemy.
So to get at the Transformers, we hit the one who controls them.
Not so simple. I tried to capture
I hate to say
but
this,
he got
this
away.
guy looks
You
different
must
in
remember,
each
too,
shot.
that
I
the
mean,
man who created
were they
Solomach
using
1
different
and Zortek
artists
2
for each
is our
shot?
greatest enemy.
Inconsistent animation for the win.
Professor Adda
And
and
what's
Dr.
worrying
Sun
is
have
it's
been
obviously
trying
from
to
the same
overthrow
anime,
for years
so
without success.
this is
The
bad.
latest
It's
attempt was
not
a
like
few
he's
years
even
ago when they
chosen
tried to
chosen
beat us
good
with the
anime to
Transformer
like
Solomach
hack
1.
and slash. He's
But
like
we were
chosen
lucky and their
crappy
attempt
anime
failed. Although they
on
didn't
top of
defeat us, they
everything
did
else.
escape. When my lord, the Dark Emperor, decided to embark on this campaign to conquer the universe, he sent Commander Dali and me to capture this planet. Our mission is to invade the Earth and capture the Transformers once and for all.
General Munn, I am certain that I can supply you with the information necessary to track down Professor Addas and this Dr. Sun.
I know. That is why I called you here to come and see me. I need an Earth army to cooperate.
I'll do anything you want me to do, General Munn.
I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be liking this.
According to our guy in the chat here, it says that was indeed supposed to be Kim Il Sung.
Straight ahead of us.
Riding on a unicorn, indeed.
Yes, and that's
Why am I getting Battle for Bloodhaven flashbacks here?
Oh gosh.
My commander, I've always been your loyal servant, and I have proven myself before.
I don't care even if they've got the Justice League riding on magical ponies.
If only.
Both of you have been loyal and
I just,
faithful
I
to
love the
Destiny.
Linkara review of
Lieutenant
that. That's
Sutton,
just brilliant.
You can take the Super Shark. And Lieutenant
Also,
Lieutenant Tim!
Here's our next.
Oh my god, we got Twilight is Magic in the movie somehow.
the two of you will perform the best. I will request of the Dark Emperor to make
I need to get like a screen capture of this for my avatar on Steam.
Sieg Heil.
The big question is what scene and which pictures? There's so many to choose from.
These pan shots, amazing.
Wow, just let's make it
No,
out.
these aren't pan shots. These are pot shots at like decent animation.
It's just a picture that's just basically been.
Pot shots in every conceivable translation of the phrase. Smoke weed every day indeed.
Wow, they disappear and appear all at exactly the same time because lo beholders put in any actual effort in like having things appear differently.
Also, is this yet another from a different series right there? That scene?
Yeah,
Here's another one.
Now there's another one.
Earth defense crew to start up the Star Wars system. Get back to your positions.
They actually
right
call it
away.
the
Turn
Star
on the
Wars
self-defense
system.
precautionary
Yes.
They actually call it the Star Wars.
Yes.
I can't seem to get the signal through. Something is jamming now.
So that's where Equestria is then.
Earth defense base calling
I knew it all along.
Contact the defense crew. Get the
Now,
missiles ready and
just to give you all a point at where we're at like 25 minutes, and we still have a full hour to go.
The satellite station was
Yay.
We don't even know who our enemies are. Huh? What do you want here?
We just detected a fleet of spacecraft approaching the atmosphere above China.
I love how inconsistent this is. First they're in space, now they're in China, then they're in space again, now they're in China, and now they're nuking China.
China is space. What do you mean it's completely different?
Where's our missile headed now?
It's headed straight for China.
Space,
Are
the
you
Chinese
serious? And this launch
frontier.
is headed for China?
Yes, sir, but don't you worry. We still have time to intercept it with a Patriot 27.
Then go do it! Go do it now!
Yes, sir. Right away.
I'll do it if I get enough animation frames to do so, sir.
And that was underwhelming.
I was gonna say, wow, that
explosion.
explosion.
I protest! I protest! I protest!
Wow, Dr. Evil's let himself go.
Put your shoe back on, you stinking up the General Assembly.
This rancor is getting us nowhere, gentlemen.
Also, that
please say a
Nikita
few words.
Kershkev.
I am here to listen to the explanation, and it better be a good one.
Yeah.
He
Illusion.
can't say anything unless you keep your mouth shut.
Oh, if we can't find
We
a
now
solution,
join
we'll
live
have
at
to
the
put
United Nations.
The computer functions with a certain kind of.
And what gets done here?
Dr. Bruno, excuse me. but
Nothing!
not a word yet.
Or the Democratic
Nothing
Order
yet.
of Planets.
Then I must apologize for my nation's mistake.
Hello, Tron. Funny seeing you here.
Thought if it was made on a budget of 15 pence.
You must continue
See,
to
Kyle.
work on the energy supply vessel day and night. As soon as it is completed, we will have our own source of power. We won't have to depend on the Union
I love how
for our
virtually
energy.
no effort's
Only
been made
time will we be
with the
in control of
dubbing to make it look like it's even remotely in sync with the lip syncing.
All the
I know it was originally in Japanese, so obviously it's going to be difficult, but you know, Korean, whatever.
Yeah, this is all
wasn't-
Korean.
It wasn't
Go and
English.
check out the progress on the central power vessel. It must be finished on time, or else we face the distinct possibility of being punished by the Dark Emperor.
Oh no, he's gonna put you in a little chair in the corner.
All right, keep up the pressure. We must keep attacking at all costs.
Okay, so they now have Smurfs in.
Lieutenant Sarger is going to attack. We cannot give him the chance to win this
Equestria
battle.
girls,
We
eat your
must be
heart
able
out
to
for all
conquer
these
the
coloured
enemy.
human
Everyone
pigs.
to their battle stations at once. Prepare to attack.
I was gonna say the same thing about the series Doug, but yeah, we can go in there.
Well, yeah. Actually, no. Doug's probably a better analogy. It's pretty much as boring. Let's just say that.
Sir, the enemy, they're attacking. What do you mean the enemy is attacking? Are you certain? I didn't hear any precautionary alert sounded. You must be out of your mind.
Suddenly, random missiles.
Make
Boy.
it rain, I say. I'm
As
surprised
long as they're
that
not in the shadows.
everyone fire your weapons at random.
I love how they just launched the.
Fire me!
Oh gosh, salsa seems to make the alcohol more effective.
I love how they're just firing the entire robots, just like right from the launch bay, just boom.
Yeah, I honestly gotta think that my terrible dubbing of things like Q and Blam is far more entertaining than any of the sound effects and effects they're trying to go for here. Not the ship.
Blam.
We were gonna play battleships 3 days from now.
Eat your heart out, Michael Bay.
Oh, that reminds me. We should also probably see the live-action Battleship movie here.
Oh gosh.
Ugh. Really? It's a rip off of a lesser Hasbro band of something they already make. Ugh.
I remember when I was doing Microsoft hardware QA testing, we did the Battleship game at one point. Oh God.
Well, that was underwhelming.
Fire.
Wow, that line. Fire.
And now
I
we're
have
in
5
space.
words for you to describe it.
Doesn't even face the
Story-based first-person shooter.
Those primitive weapons, your puny little laser.
Wow.
Are nothing compared to my
And you could call in like nuclear strikes from orbit.
Yeah.
Oh, I think this probably has more story than the average first-person shooter. It's the thing.
No, it didn't.
And now we're
Okay,
back on Earth.
depends.
You literally, the map was literally laid out in a grid, and you could call in nuke strikes to A5.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that was just Blue Napa, like right there. Or as I like to call him, Blue Manchu.
Blue man shit.
Blue.
Oh, dear.
What was that? It's like that frame just disappeared there for a sec.
He could. He could only pay for these anime by the frame, and he couldn't afford that one.
Apparently.
You know, I don't know if it's like the alcohol or something, or just how bad this is, but I'm having trouble focusing on it.
Trust me, you're not alone in that.
Well, to be fair, it's not like it makes any sense, even if we were trying to focus on it properly.
Exactly.
It would be interesting to like expose this to children, to have them watch it.
Children react to Space Thunder Kids or something like that, right?
Kids react, yeah.
Yeah, kids react, yeah.
The thing is, though, what is the audience for this? I don't really know. It's not animation aficionados, because they know that this is going to be garbage, and it's not going to be kids, because I would have thought kids would know better than to buy something like this, or get their parents to buy this.
That layering error was terrible. It is Tron Godzilla.
Why is he fighting one of those LED game bad guys? It's like Mr. Game. It's like a monster version of Mr. Game & Watch.
What's going on?
Let's just randomly type.
This must be some kind of a trick.
Meanwhile, in the behind-the-scenes lair of Lizard Squad.
Pretty much.
Hold on.
What was it I was going to say? Wait. We had 4 of those monsters, and all of a sudden we had 5. What?
Consistency!
We don't have it.
Let me try to flip.
Oh, to answer your question, Matt, I wouldn't be shocked if this was originally intended to be either for kids, like maybe older kids, say the 9 to 12 demographic, or maybe even a little older.
I think it was probably for anyone that was stupid enough to buy it.
But yeah, that's the end result. Is actually that's the best way of putting it. It was intended for those dumb enough to buy it.
Pretty much like Lion and the King. They probably didn't actively advertise it to anyone. They just sold it to a bunch of stores and saying, if you can sell it, great, more money for us.
I just love it. All of a sudden we go from no, I'm not going there. I'll be back for that in a second, though. But I love it how we go from space fight to fight on Earth.
Fortune cookies, my one weakness.
To a giant monster fight. Also, what is it with the mushroom clouds in this show? Really?
Everything's made of nuclear explodium.
No, the thing is that everything's made of explosions, and whenever they get hit, they just revert to their natural form. So, like, a health bar, for example, in Dead Space, isn't a health bar. It's really the resistance turning into explosions. That's just a rape face.
Meanwhile, back in another story.
Yes, we'll just randomly insert this story here. Hope you've been following everything and been taking notes, because you'll need them later. Is there anything in this film that doesn't explode?
What? And have it be lame? What's wrong with you?
I'll get this one.
And he proceeds to miss like 4 shots in a row.
God, could you imagine a live action version of this film directed by Michael Bay?
You know,
It'd be like,
it was
great,
actually
I don't have to make sense, I can put more explosions in.
You know, if this was at least live action, there would be some consistent feel to it. So that would actually be somewhat of an improvement.
No, they'd have to use 8 different sets of actors for authenticity.
Good point.
Oh crap, I almost closed the movie tab on accident.
Remember what I said about fast-paced action? Yeah.
Huh?
And now we're just reusing footage from the beginning.
Huh.
But to be fair, to have fast-paced action, you'd have to have pacing in this full stop, which we don't have.
Good point.
Hang on, I'm sure I've seen that explosion effect before. Hang on a minute.
We've been losing the war. The Dark Empire's army has destroyed our space frontier lines.
What was up with that person's face? I'm sorry.
The situation to get any worse.
Professor, I'm well trained. Yeah. Sure.
I assign you to be captain of Tiger SX-3. Save the Earth.
Yes, Professor, I accept your assignment.
I accept it without
Wait,
any...
what was the assignment again?
Capture Space SX-3, save the Earth.
Apparently.
Tiger SX-3, ready to launch. Check all systems.
I've never really been involved in a real aerial battle. I'm pretty nervous. I hope everything will
I
be
don't
all
want
right.
This is a pretty important mission.
go on
that we
adventure.
must overcome our fears and perform our best on the
Adventure!
battlefield.
Okay, all systems are ready. Energy level up and all weapons are on.
Tiger SX-3 is ready.
Do we get to follow the adventure line?
Open the hatch. Tiger SX-3 set to enter. We're ready to go.
But then that would mean having some sort of direction in this.
We're leaving the atmosphere. Better check the air pressure, Sally.
Air pressure normal and all systems are go.
Good. Report our heading, Rock.
We're heading right into battle with the Dark Emperor's army.
What's up with that scaredy person's eyes?
Just a different animation style.
They're scaring me.
To be fair, like half the people in this entire thing are like just got derp eyes just going the whole thing.
Well, that explains a lot.
What, Derpy created this?
No, if Derpy created this, there'd be muffins everywhere. Which, you know, at least that would make sense.
Exploding muffins.
Oh, kind of like how like the exploding bread that we had from Breadwinners, only instead of the bread, we just have just nothing but muffins flying everywhere.
Pew. 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 I'll stop. Sorry.
How many times have we seen that same ship explode now?
Free frame!
We should be doing a counter, really. That's about the third or fourth time now.
Oh, here's the world's easiest drinking game. Watch Space Thunder Kids and take a shot every time the plot makes sense.
But that basically means basically downing throughout the whole film.
I said where the plot makes sense.
But we have got to hold on.
Oh, well, where it makes sense. Oh, well, I'll be pretty much stone sober then.
Exactly.
This is Earth Defense Division 12. We are retreating. We are retreating. Over.
We are retreating. We are retreating. We are retreating. We are retreating. We are retreating.
Wow, they are as good as aiming as the average stormtrooper, I'd say.
I love how he just decides to just punch that one. Doesn't even bother with the just... He knows guns are useless, so he just goes up and just... BAM! Right in the face.
Hey, it works for Captain Falcon.
Falcon punch!
We've got to look at the F-Zero anime some point. Just for the final episode, if anything.
That final scene is...
legendary.
Well, it falls under, to me, we know it's a meme at this point, but at least they're playing to us. Dude, I was sleeping. What happened?
I'm really bored.
Hey, Rock, don't be too
You missed nothing of value.
Dark Emperor's whole army. Look, 2 Empire interceptors are behind us. Get ready to fight. Rock, they're all yours. Don't let me down.
Ah, right.
I would love to have seen if this actually been in cinemas. I wonder, imagine if there was a premiere for this and like all the critics are sitting there, they're all like,
Crap, I have a knot in my hair and I was brushing it and it hurt.
Sally, activate the computer sensors.
And that pain was probably more interesting than
The computer shows an extremely dangerous.
I was just gonna say, you
that
notice
pain was probably more interesting than this movie.
I was gonna say, you notice the stuff that we talk about that we get off track, even if it doesn't make much sense. That's often a good cue as to what you're getting into with these videos, people.
I feel kind of dizzy in my chair. I shouldn't have more to drink.
Also, can I just point out the fact that this particular flying tank here has tread tracks on the bottom of it? They're in space. Why would it need tread tracks?
It could
So
be.
when it lands on asteroid.
Yeah. That's a very good point, actually. Very good point.
I mean, that'd be like building an aircraft without landing gear. Who would do such a stupid thing?
Unless the thing was designed to land like at a vertical takeoff. Shaky, shaky. Mommy, I want to go on the ride again.
Why do these explosions are so bloody underwhelming? It's ridiculous.
They're about as slow as molasses in January.
But even when you get to the impact, it just doesn't really look very explodey.
Exactly.
I mean, they may as well just flicker them out of existence. It probably looks slightly more interesting.
Did that plane just fly into that asteroid?
Certainly looked like it.
It's like,
hey, if you were part of this,
sucks.
if you were a part of this universe, you'd probably commit suicide as well.
I was just gonna say that. Is that Jaws
I will
music,
give it
by
now.
the way?
The music here is actually not too bad. I'm actually praising something in this movie. That's scary.
I'll send Super Shark with an iron
Probably paid some high schoolers.
At least they would put effort into it.
together. Super Shark to action.
The thing is, though, this. I'm not even going to say the voice acting's bad. It's passable. It just doesn't make. It's just what they're saying makes no sense.
I would say the voice acting isn't. That's just because there's no effort put into it. I swear they must be just barfing their lines out. Just, oh no, we're under attack.
I'm sure if these voice actors were given something that they were more infused in, like being in, I'm sure they'd actually be quite decent. You can tell that they at least seem to know what they're doing. It's just that here it just feels very by the numbers.
Right. And that's my point. It's I wouldn't be shocked if that's just it. Is they knew what they were getting into, so it's like, well, we know what we're getting into, so we might as well just take the money and run. and that's exactly what we get here, effort-wise.
Who dares to approach us?
They're Earth defense troops, sir.
Although to be fair, the ones that do seem to be trying are probably the ones that got paid the least.
That's the sad part.
Basically, the janitor. I was like, hey, you want to be in a movie? I have no idea how to do voice acting. That's fine, you know how to speak into a microphone, you'll be fine.
You know, Mario was named after the Italian plumber at Nintendo of America, right?
Yep.
I thought he was the landlord.
Oh, yeah.
No, he was the plumber.
I thought
no,
it was
the
originally called
janitor.
Jumpman.
He was originally called Jumpman.
Yeah, and you know, Pac-Man was called Puck-Man in Japan, but they changed it to Pac because people could use a Sharpie and call it like Fuck-Man or something.
I thought they were not going to allow call Puckman because people would have been thinking, hey, that doesn't look like an air table hockey puck.
I have no idea.
We'll have to look it up later.
They should have really called him Pie Chart Man.
Waiting for them for a long time. Send the 2 squads of interceptors to attack.
Reused animation!
Go!
Go!
You know, it's one thing when you're doing flight scenes, I'm fine with a slower pace. If it's just either exposition or it's just, you know, it's just an establishment shot or something like that, that's fine. But when you're in the middle of a fight scene, I know I've already hammered this, but you just don't go at this pace. You just don't.
Well, see,
Sorry, you go, Ben.
But the funny thing is that some of the robots here, I think we just seen like the one with the ball and chain and the mace there. That's I think part of like what was one of the space transformer here. This was like from the pre-Transformers Diaclone toy line, and this is pretty much the only thing here where this is the only animated appearance, since the toys that were adapted into Space Transformer never got a proper anime. So this is like the only time that we'll actually ever see something like this here, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll give him I'll give him a little bit more credit for accuracy. It is probably a little bit more feasible to use melee weapons in space.
Just going back to you said about the pacing here, I think the worst example of slow as molasses pacing for any establishing shot is probably Star Trek, the motion picture, the very first film, when they're actually going round into the ship. It takes them like 7-8 minutes to just go round the ship and get inside it.
Wow.
I mean,
also, what is up with this animation? It's just choppy. Oh my gosh.
One more pass.
Good job, robots don't get dizzy.
Cable out! Let her go!
If only.
Yeah.
I love how the background there just magically changed to represent them falling further into the atmosphere. And of course he explodes.
Tiger SX-3 has destroyed the super truck. He might come after us now. Retreat!
Retreat! Yeah, there was actually some effort. So, I wonder what he got paid. Also, did that robot just, his facial expressions change?
Well, keep in mind that they just reformed. They just referred to that robot as Tiger SX-3. We've already seen a different robot under the same name earlier.
I just love the backgrounds here. They're so obviously looped. You can even see where the bloody loop starts and ends. It's it's ridiculous. More reused animation.
Woo!
Crap.
To be fair, that ringtone just actually doesn't seem completely out of place in the film here.
That, and it's about the only thing that was actually entertaining. Also, what was that? You're not Rita Repulsa, honey.
Is it bad? I actually. Oh, there it is. There it goes. I was not disappointed.
The mushroom cloud?
Yes.
Seriously, is this just basically an analogy for the person that was making this was basically on shrooms?
Hey, pal, don't fall asleep. You gotta watch the radar screen.
Hey, pal, don't fall asleep or I'll eat you.
Hey, something just showed up on the screen.
Hey, to be fair, would anyone be like arguing against me if I did fall asleep while this was on?
I got a phone call while it was on, you know, so,
But it's basically the only thing I haven't done when I've been streaming here. Falling asleep while the mic's on.
Back up here for a minute. Are we... I know we've already established that this is about 12 different shows spliced together. 8, sorry. But and please don't tell me that I'm correct in this, please. Are we starting over? Because I honestly gotta think that this is like an act 1 of some other show. Which
I would hate to think we're back in Act 1. I mean, we're like 50 minutes in, and we still got another half hour practically.
Oh.
But then again, when you consider the pacing question mark of this film. Who's to say that the one act is not like 70 minutes long and the other act's like 5 minutes and 10 minutes?
Better still, who's to say, given the way we've seen already, that they're in order?
Considering the consistency of this film, that would not surprise me at all.
I take it by the time we get to the end of this film, nothing of real note is accomplished other than a lot of explosions.
Am I still, like, audible?
Yep.
Yeah, you're still audible.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I don't brain really good.
Pew, 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 pew.
Man, there are just so many pews in this movie, you could fill a church with them.
That was good.
Is it normal to be, like, dizzy when you're sitting down?
Not generally, no.
Depends how much you've been drinking.
Oh, one drink.
I've only had one bottle of beer, I'm fine.
I am a lightweight, okay?
I like mixed food, but then again, I've not been having salsa, so, you know.
And there's Eiffel 65 there.
I wish. God, I wish.
Now listen up, here's a story. Actually, no, there is no story, so we better stop this song.
That was good, Matt. That was good.
Laser cannon, ready to fire.
Oh my gosh, these review shots.
You know what I really want to see is, like, YouTube Pooper's getting a hand of it.
I meant to mention this. This is basically YouTube Poop before YouTube Poop ever existed.
No, see,
and now the legs went on instead of came off.
Yeah.
So, to be fair to YouTube Poop, I think most YouTube Poop actually makes more sense than this.
that's just it. Is YouTube Poops might be the what I like to call the equivalent of video editing Dadaism, but.
This is just surrealism and entirely different meaning.
Exactly. This is surrealism more than anything. This isn't Dadaism.
Hey, you never know. Someone might dig this up in like 1,000 years into the future and consider this like sort of, you know, expressionistic art or something.
But
they might be able to find deeper meaning to this film that us lesser, older, you know, ancestor beings can't actually fathom right now.
Or it's just a load of crap.
Well, yeah, that too. They'd have to look beyond all the explosions, and then there's not really much left after that.
Going back to the YTP bit, it's like the good ones, or at least the ones that have amassed the most views, have some semblance of sense to them. Yeah, they're mostly just penis-related jokes, but you know what? Even those have meaning and a reason for them.
You know, while I'm watching this scene, I'm thinking like,
penis are funny.
いいか、シモン、忘れなんだ。お前を信じろ。俺が信じるお前でもない。お前が信じる俺でもない。お前が信じるお前を信じろ。
That was Gurren Lagann, wasn't it?
Yes.
Is it bad that I recognize the Gurren Lagann just by you just saying Shimon, just that one line?
Yep, ditto.
No, the thing is when doing Gurren Lagann, you have to get you know Kamina's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like the umami of what he's saying. It's like
run from the sparkly monster, I think. And I don't mean Twilight.
Wait, is that Darth Vader? Holy crap, it's Darth Vader!
Look like it.
No, sorry.
Well, considering the word Katir actually did make a reference to the Star Wars system earlier, that would not surprise me at all.
Extra credit for anybody who could translate that correctly into English.
Wait a minute. Back up here. I know this is another one of those cases I'm going to be looking too far into something, but if we're in space, how can we have all of these explosions?
You're only just now asking this?
Hey, I've been...
I cannot wait for us to do Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, because I know one of the very first questions you will ask is, how the hell could Superman speak in space?
I've seen that.
No, actually, it makes sense that there could be explosions because when the ship explodes, it's full of air, right?
Right.
And air can turn into explosions.
I'm not saying that there will be zero. There won't be some sort of fire to it. I'm just saying that it won't be as intense as this is giving it credit for.
Though to be fair, that you could say that about a lot of films set in space.
True.
It's not just exclusive to this movie. I say movie in the loosest possible terms.
But it just falls under... We have these... And then there's this Jimmy Rustler. But all of a sudden we get this... all of a sudden we get all these amazing explosions. It's like, hey, wait a minute. This is supposed to be in space, isn't it? And it's like, here we keep jumping between China, space, Earth, and probably some planet far off in some other distant reach of the galaxy.
I love how you say China and Earth as if they're two separate places.
Well, hey, if they're gonna make that distinction, then fine. I'll make that distinction too. Anyway,
behold the power of my rotating hand claw.
Gee, that can't be interpreted in any other way. Not your line. What was seen on screen. My axe is the axe that will...
Axe of justice.
Apparently.
Wait, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? No, seriously, it's not like it's been very clear. I take it the white one is the good guy.
I love how there have been no signs of damage to any of the machines yet. They look like they're about as pristine as the day they rolled off the assembly line, and yet here, of course, they are battling. What?
I think only on CinemaQuestria Riffs is where you can see people do Darth Vader impressions of Tengatapa Gurren Lagann.
Only on CQ. Ding!
I should really not have permission to use alcohol.
Now it's my turn. You can't get away from Solomon 1.
Wait a minute. Again, back up here. Wasn't that white robot supposed to explode since he got impaled? What gives?
Also, do note that this white robot here was also called Solar Mech 1, yet that same name was also used again for a completely different robot earlier as well. We've had another instance of...
You're actually paying attention to continuity in this thing?
Yeah. See, bad thing is that this actually happened before earlier as well. We've had two instances of two different robots being called the same name. This isn't counting the reused shots that we've been seeing. I have no idea how many times we've seen same reused shots just in general.
Too many.
But yeah.
It just feels to me like they were like, oh, we'll call this robot this name, and then we'll call this robot this name, and then never bothered to double check that they'd called the different robot the same name. It was like, obviously someone must have been writing this as they were animating it, or as they were splicing it together, I should say, sorry.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it was. Also, that reused animation. Again!
To be fair, this probably took longer to voice act than this did to animate. And that's an impressive achievement.
And yeah, all of a sudden, like I said, we're back on Earth. And then there's this Jimmy Rustler.
Bow before my humongous hook for a hand. Abu Hamza, eat your heart out.
I'm coming to get you.
See, it doesn't even look like it's a fight. It's more like just some giant game of, like, robot tag.
You know, that would be funny. Tag, you're it.
I'm sorry, but that hook for an arm is just really bugging me. It's just, what practical use would you have for such a thing?
Well, don't you have things to cut? Like, I don't know. And all of a sudden he loses the hook. Don't you have things to cut?
I'm surprised he didn't use the line, "Stand back or I'll cut you."
That face shot.
Phallic symbol, phallic symbol.
Everyone here, listen carefully. Commander Dolly has been
here, listen carefully.
He
looks like M. Bison's illegitimate cousin.
No! No! And yeah, back in space.
In space! Oh, shut up now.
Oh my golly, they're approaching us real fast!
Wait, was that guy trying to do a girl's voice then?
You know, I wouldn't put it past him at this point.
They only have 4 battleships left. We'll attack the one.
To be fair, I'm surprised it weren't just one person doing all the voices, but
An invader isn't an
I think there was more than one person, to be fair.
Get the nuclear missiles ready and the laser cannon. Turn on the anti-radar screen and attack.
Watch everything. Again, that music.
If I launch everything, does that mean that they'll be widening the windows down and just throwing like food at them as well?
Pew, 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 pew.
That's the same explosion we saw like very near the beginning. That was like in the 30 seconds of the movie.
Don't bother trying to give this continuity. It doesn't have any.
Well, to be fair, you could say the first like 2 minutes of this film was like the trailer for the film, I guess.
And the explosion just keeps exploding. Look at that. Longest explosion ever.
They're exploding.
Remember what I was discussing about astrophysics? That's what
Basically, Spike, yes, you can explode twice. We have now learned that from this movie.
You know, if all of a sudden someone I know we've already had one robot pull out something like a lightsaber, but honestly, God, if two humans or a human and an alien pull out something like a lightsaber, I'm gonna lose it. I really am.
Look at the eyes. They're like,
oh! It's very dangerous to get
me!
With pleasure.
Hey, it's better than him having bedroom eyes.
All you gotta do is just shift his eyebrows around, you can make it happen. And wouldn't you like to have that laying on your bed?
I
thought so.
So So basically, we have like Badoosh, Sway Sway, SpongeBob, Timmy. What's another one that would be half decent to add in? Doctor Who. That janitor from Scrubs.
The janitor. Yep.
Walter White.
Hey, you gotta have the ultimate janitor in Scruffy.
Yeah.
Gustavo Fring and Saul Goodman all together on a spaceship, and that would make more sense than this.
Yeah, but you have to understand that put all those characters together, and that would actually be entertaining.
You've not seen Breadwinners, but Badoosh and Sway Sway would definitely not be that.
Well, okay, fair enough.
I love how the illusion of movement is really not very good in this. It's like, yeah, the background's moving by us just panning the shot in like the most ridiculously cheap way possible.
And there we can see the loops.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Really close.
It's like we're moving, but we keep getting warped back to the same position. We're going nowhere, Captain.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah?
Do you like waffles?
Do I?
Do you like waffles?
Waffles.
Do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles.
Meanwhile, back on Earth.
Captain, please, you have to help.
I'm pregnant.
General, what's
So that's how Arnold Schwarzenegger was involved in this.
We've been working together for months.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing the what's his name? Not Vulcan.
Has the upper hand. Do you think I'd be foolish enough to be seen with
Piccolo?
Sir, you
Yeah, Piccolo.
Not King Piccolo.
I was thinking cello for some reason.
destroy this alien?
Boom! And he's dead. Wow, that was a really anticlimactic way of getting rid of that guy.
And it just like takes like 10 seconds to fall over too.
It's like what's it called? That one guy in Hamlet who Shakespeare, with all of his linguistic knowledge, had him say, "Oh, I am slain." Falls over.
Darn it, I can't think of it. Oh.
Polonius was a dick.
This guy, or this scene. Just
This
watch
scene.
this masterpiece, folks.
Oh no.
Is this the same? Is this the same tank just going round and
Yes.
round? Why do I imagine this being a circular place, and it's just like they just have them going round just to make it look like they've got lots of tanks there?
That's what North Korea would do.
They'd use mirrors in like their promotional footage to make it look like they've got more soldiers and artillery than they actually have.
Aren't you guys scared or empowered by these tanks?
Not particularly.
Neither am I. They just don't have the same appeal as the Scorpion from Halo.
Honestly, I think the Tortoise tank is scarier.
You know, it would be interesting if we got all of us to play like classic OG Halo on somewhere.
That would.
Actually, for a while, I've had a problem with playing a classic OG Halo on my computers because I have a multiple of 4 gigabytes of RAM, and the game thinks it has no memory available.
2 divisions of our robot army have been
See,
destroyed.
Kyle. Also, I love this guy. The guy on the screen. It's like he looks like Colonel Quink's cousin or something.
It's like the bad guy in Interstellar 5555. You know?
Yeah.
Except I think Interstellar 5555 had a better story.
I think a lot of things had a much better story than this. Even some of the crappy stuff I've seen.
But
Like
to be
The Room?
Yeah. There is a problem here. There is a problem here. To have a better story, first of all, you have to have a story. And there just isn't one here.
At least this is a better love story than Twilight.
Okay.
Well, that goes without saying.
But that's because there's been no love.
Well, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
So what you're saying, this is the perfect Valentine's Day movie.
Remember how you said earlier how you said you wouldn't be surprised if someone had like a lightsaber here?
Please don't tell me.
It's not a lightsaber, but take a look.
The Tron disc.
Yeah.
Wow, that cow that looked like a bloody like a cow prodding iron thing. Then. Behold the power of this cow prod.
Here we go.
This is another scene right here.
Tron?
Take a look at this guy's face.
So you finally got in here. Let's see how good
It's Scooby-Doo in human form.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is Tron. He has two discs. What? He threw his disc. He isn't holding it.
But he's just using a shield, so this is basically pretty much like the Ganondorf fights from Zelda.
What? You either throw your disc or you're holding it.
So what was the point of having that shield if it wasn't going to protect you? That was a dumb move.
And he falls over from it. Like, what? Did the energy transfer through it? Which, yeah, that the physics would dictate that, but it's like...
No, he was being
you know
beamed up. I was like, sorry, my people need me. I have to go
In
now.
the business, we'd call that a segmentation fault.
And she's suddenly having an eye patch when she didn't have one before.
Eye patch? Man, that would mean that they paid Apple for something. They couldn't afford Apple.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. What the hell is with that little thing with her eyes? Look at the eyes! The little tiny things that she's standing next to her. The eyes on that thing! That's scaring me. I know it's because it's wearing glasses, but it just... Oh!
You're wrong.
Sandy,
The Dark Emperor's
shut up.
battleship is
You might
complete
be
will
my...
history.
Look at it! Look at its face! I'm sorry, I'm scared now. I'm gonna have to look away.
Our conversation is over. Goodbye.
I found my new Steam avatar.
Range 12,000 meters, 25 degrees, 18 minutes, speed over 180 knots. Dark Empire, super battleships in range and sights locked on. Ready to roll.
Why has everyone stopped working? What's wrong here?
Why is everyone stopped working? What's wrong here? Implying people are actually working.
Why would a pirate dare go against me?
Just a normal day at CQ.
No,
is orange.
no. You are not bringing that song in here. Get it out of here.
What song?
Thus spoke Zarathustra. Thus spoke Zarathustra.
Oh. I almost thought he was about to reference the Lazy Town one.
No.
Taken by the book?
No, I was thinking Yar Har Fiddle Dee Dee, since, they're pirates and such.
Well, no, they had the drum going in the background. It's like, no, pack up.
This feels more Captain Pugwash than anything else.
Torpedoes away.
What the hell am I looking at?
She still hasn't penetrated.
That looked like lens flare the explosion.
Well, you'll be happy to know we're in the final stretch here. We got like just 10 minutes to go, so...
I'd be interested to see if anybody in the audience could make like convincing looking shirts based off the random things we're saying in random screen caps from this movie.
Hey, as long as you get royalties.
That's the kind of behavior that led to the creation of this.
But Mike, and of course, then the next question is, of course, Who'd want any association with this?
Let's see if they actually put their names in the credits.
There is one thing I will like to ask about this. Did this actually take any money? Does anyone know if this actually took good money or anything, or whether it made its money back or whatever? Not that I'm sure it cost a lot of money to make in the first place, but I'm just curious now as to what this actually took in terms of box office. I mean, in terms of sales of VHS, because I dare say this was never shown in cinemas.
I could try looking that up.
It almost seems like a pointless pursuit, to tell you the truth, Ben.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking, if anyone can make something like this and make money out of it, then you can make money out of anything. I mean, regurgitated crap is basically what this is.
It's funny. They always say... Wait. Never mind. Point is if they were to surrender, wouldn't you just kill them?
Wait, that was a solid object?
Die, Dark Emperor! And wait. He wasn't real? He was some kind of virtual program or something? So we have
of course, that was perfectly explained.
So we have a ship that looked like some kind of vector program that was solid, and that the Dark Emperor, who we assume was just in some different room, was actually in some kind of computer, and that was his existence.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm not entirely sure that was even really the Dark Emperor.
Fair enough.
Then again, we don't even know who the Space Thunder Kids are at this point. We were never given that information, and it was never made clear. So
what, they were like the kids of 4?
3 flying tanks are approaching the base. I better sound the alarm.
Hey, man, sound the alarm. Raw. 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 If you're going to use slow-mo, at least make it at parts that we want to see.
What do you mean? You don't want to see us use our reused animation over and over in a loop as slowly as possible?
Okay, move.
Okay, move.
Just think, if you'd got rid of all the reused animation in this film would have been over in about 20 minutes. Wow, that cloning machine must have done really, really well, since they seem to be cloning the same 3 people over and over and over.
In comes the truck.
Are any of your other guys' hands orange?
No. And it suddenly, what was up with that blur?
It was proper motion blur and everything, using the finest Vaseline. No, seriously, I'm guessing he probably just took the footage and just put some Vaseline on the screen. It was like, yeah, that looks great.
I'll give that scene a little bit of credit. That's exactly how I want to see my fight scenes, at least in this sense.
Yeah.
And then they just go and blow it up. Or,
It's because we haven't had an explosion for the last, 10 seconds.
Good point. Let us escape. Yes, I think they had a French accent.
All
now we're back to the robots again. I'm suddenly hearing John Williams' Superman theme in my head right now.
transformation, I'm sure there was some frames of animation missing there.
I think there were.
Don't you mean slides, not frames? This is a slideshow, not an animation.
Okay, so it transformed into like a sort of a semi-plane and then transformed back. What was the point of that?
I couldn't tell you. Oh no!
What's going on?
Sir, a column of Alliance heavy armor is headed in this direction.
No one can defeat the armies of the Dark Emperor. Prepare to sacrifice yourselves for the Dark Emperor now.
Sir, we just received
What?
news that the entire Dark Empire command structure has been totally destroyed, sir.
Do you mean to say they've killed the Dark Emperor?
Yes, the Dark Emperor is dead.
Ding dong, the Emperor's dead, the Emperor's dead, the Emperor's dead. That guy's doing now, that face palming, that's basically us after watching this film.
You know what?
Fly the white flag of peace.
I am glad that you finally made the correct decision to surrender to the Allied armies. That has avoided a lot of unnecessary killing.
Unnecessary killing. You're telling me.
Well, I don't really know what to say.
I do. I say we should work together to build.
Even this film was self-aware of how many explosions there were.
Despot destroy so much.
Yes, well, we've certainly learned our lesson.
That's right. No one will ever
What?
use terrorism to try to impose their will on the whole universe.
The very definition of easily forgiven.
Well, there's a difference between showing mercy to your enemies and
being a dumbass.
It's like saying, this is saying, neither one of our forces were good or evil. They were just two different forces. Let's work together to rebuild. Rebuild what? Oh.
Wait, what's this?
I don't know. Oh, also available
History
for...
classics. Wait,
Notice how we don't even get like a proper credit scene either.
To be fair, who will actually like have put their name to this garbage?
Yeah.
It's a bit like when we watched The Lion and the King. That never had any credits either. Captain Nemo Volume 3. That looks fascinating.
No, they showed Volume 3 after Volume 4.
Really?
Well, yeah. Obviously. With the editing that's in the film, did you expect the editing of the promo to be any better?
The last of the Mohicans.
I think all this DigiView product stuff looks like great riff material, to be honest.
Sadly, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Greatest fight.
That is right there. That is like 1940s Superman. I can tell you that right now.
And Girls We Love, that's just some Betty Boop.
Yep. And of course we got Daffy Duck and Elmer right there.
Oh wait, is this the? Are these like the racist Looney Tunes that have gone into public domain?
I don't think so. I think
hey, if we ended up doing that, we'd just end up having Everlasting Joy basically being that's racist on loop.
That's racist! That's
Space
racist!
Thunder Kids!
That's racist!
Hey, they're showing a promo for the movie we're watching right now. Protectors of the Universe.
Okay, Protectors of the Universe. That we actually saw the okay, I'm gonna let you know. Like I mentioned before, Protectors of the Universe. We actually saw parts of that film in the Space Thunder Kids we just seen.
Well,
they're using from the DigiView. They're using parts of their own movie from a completely different franchise in a butchered film that we just seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you can't say they're not wasteful of their resources.
Oh,
it's over.
my lord.
Hey, that was quite fun, actually.
Oh, that was painful.
It was better than Breadwinners. That's for sure.
No, I think Breadwinners was better. It had a story. Somewhat.
The thing is, though, Breadwinners came from people that you expect a lot more. Here, I was expecting it to be bad, and it sort of met my expectation. So,
is that a good thing or
yeah.
a bad thing?
It was enjoyable just to riff on. I don't think I'd want to watch it seriously.
I will admit this. Back when I was still on, when, you know, I don't think, Ellie, you weren't with us when we actually saw on it on Brony State when we were still on that site, but
I didn't, because I'm sure I had something going on, like, I don't know. I don't remember seeing Space Thunder Kids on Brony State, but I was there when we were staff members when it was shown.
Yeah, because I'm gonna let you guys hear on that. When we saw this this being submitted to us, like the week that it won, there were like so many people wanting to see that I'm like, I was looking it up when it got announced that it was like what. Here it is. I actually have it here on IMDb. It's got a 2.1 rating on IMDb. It's actually increased since I seen it because it was like at 1 point something when I last seen it when it was on Brony State. I thought that this was like, okay, this is going to be like the most terrible thing I've ever seen. But then we actually started watching it, and I'm like, this is amazing, and like for like all the wrong reasons.
So
it's
like
so bad, it's
amazing. Like the what's something that I'm thinking about?
So bad it's good.
No, I'm trying to think of an exact example. I think I have something on my external storage. It's like Team America bad, or
to me,
you got to admit, Team America was pretty bad.
Well, it's stupid, yeah, but that's kind of the point of it. Was supposed to be over the top and way out there.
Team America was not bad. Team America was fun. I can't say that it's terrible. It at least has a cohesive story.
Or it was bad in the same way that Black Dynamite was bad.
Okay, I'll buy that.
You've seen Black Dynamite, right?
I haven't, but I know where you're going with it. You could say,
like Black Dynamite is a gem.
You could say like Kung Pao as well. That Team America.
I think Black Dynamite is one of my favorite movies. But it's a parody of the blaxploitation films of the '60s.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I think I saw no. I was thinking of something else. But okay. Anyway,
I think that this sort of basically is sort of on the same level of bad as things like Lion and the King, where it's basically made by people that are you call it professional, but it's basically lower end of that, and it's more amateur than anything else. But obviously the hilarious thing is that a lot of more amateur, there's a lot of amateur work that's a hell of a lot better than what we've just seen. But I can't really say it's no real. I can't really have any real hatred towards Space Thunder Kids. It's just stupid, and it's just funny with sort of how inept how they put it all together, and that sort of makes it's good. Like I say, it's good riff material, but I wouldn't say it's a good film anywhere near close.
Okay, one of the funnier things too is that if it wasn't for the fact that it was also inconsistent with the film in itself, it was also inconsistent with the box art on the actual VHS thing. Cool. I'm putting the link of the actual chat of the actual image in here, and I'm gonna throw it in the chat room as well. But take a look at. Yeah, take a look at the cover and compared to what we just seen.
Oh, come on. Load, please. Wow. That actually looks really, really good.
I was going to say, that's actually pretty... It's not great, but it certainly would pull me in for...
If you remove the Space Thunder Kids really horrible, text logo there and just, improve that, it looks no worse than most anime box art you see.
You could put, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, or Attack on Titan, or Defenders of Mars.
That would actually be, these would actually be
further proof that you don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
And it works both ways.
I'm curious, so I looked it up on TV Tropes. This film provides examples of aborted arc, a lot of these, or are there? Thanks to the constant ARF shifting, it's really hard to tell what is and what isn't supposed to be there.
You mean there's an arc?
All there in the manual. Good thing the back of the cover describes the entire movie from start to finish, because otherwise we'd never know what we were watching. Apparently, during somewhere in the hour of half of tanks of explosions is the plot about saving a scientist.
Wait, there was a scientist in this?
And he would need saving?
Cut and paste translation. Same characters change their appearance completely from scene to scene. Who the hell are Space Thunder Kids? There's a random focus on at least three different space traveling groups, but none of them do anything of importance, and none of them ever last longer than a scene or two. It eventually becomes impossible to discern who's supposed to be the bad guys and who's the heroes because all the ships look the same.
Pretty much exactly what I said from the very beginning.
Yep.
The lines of civilians running away from the buildings being leveled by neon light Godzilla were inexplicably identical.
I noticed that.
Godzilla. Yep.
That's not no, it wasn't inexplicable. It was just lazy.
You know, it's funny.
No celebrities were harmed. Kim Il-sung was the evil general working with the aliens.
I also remember there's like that point where the notable instance where like the guy got pulled through the windshield of the Jeep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and then there's plagiarism. Oh boy, where to begin? Phoenix King is Inferno from Transformers Generation 1 with some more super robot-y bits stuck on. As mentioned in the Space Transformers article, Diatron is really a robot with the name Machine Buffalo from the pre-Transformers Diaclone toy line. Interestingly, this and the original film are its only animated appearances, since aside from the toys that were adapted to Transformers, Diaclone never got a proper anime. The various messengers that, well, aren't. And the savior of Earth, which is Tron, comes in out of nowhere. And there's many, many more.
You know, I will...
YouTube poop makers claim this movie was YouTube poop before YouTube poop existed.
You know, there's a Simpsons episode, Homer Badman, from season 5, if I recall right, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Oh, no.
And that was YouTube poop before YouTube poop. There was an episode of Rocko's Modern Life that Ralph Bighead, he was one of the animators on there. Or not of the show, like an animator within the show. And he made this video that, what was it? The deli. Happy Deli or...
Wacky Deli.
Wacky Deli, that's it. That too is YTP before YTP.
Let's see. I am the cheese. I am the better than the salami. What was it? The salami.
I am the cheese. I am the best character on this show. I am greater than both the salami and the...
You see now? You got
to play it.
Yeah. Because that's all I remember on that as well.
But at least that stuff was... at least that stuff was entertaining. I'll give that credit. To be fair, let me just... This is not the worst thing I've ever seen. Not by a long shot. But
Lion and the King still comes top for me.
Oh my lord. It was just... I knew it was going to get boring, and sure enough, it got boring. And I don't take boredom very well. Because I can live with a lot of... When it comes to low-grade animation, I can at least buy the fact that, so it's low grade, so I'll focus more on the story, if that's any good. But this has nothing. There's no story. There's nothing good to look at. It's ugly. It's just, as I said, the story is non-existent. There's no structure. There's no pacing. There's no anything to it that makes it a good story. And unlike a YTP, which going in, I know I'm going to be, I know it's going to be nonsensical, which is funny because most of the YTPs that I do find have at least some point to them. Again, if even they are just someone getting murdered, I can just about summarize most YTPs in this way: that they either make it out to be someone, they either make it out so that someone is a pedophile, a rapist, and or a murderer.
And or all three at once.
Or all three at once.
A pedophile, rapist, murderer.
Yep. And
but the thing is with YouTube poops, at least they're not an hour and a half long like what we've just watched.
That too.
There are some.
You know,
you ever see the pony anthology videos?
Yes.
They're not really YouTube poops.
But I get where I get
where
where Zena's coming from on this. It falls under. At least those are shorter than this, and that's where my biggest gripe lies with Space Thunder Kids. It's boring, but it goes on and on and on and on. So I'm in this continually perpetual state of boredom, and
I got to admit, about half the time while I was watching this, I was in another window yakking it up with someone about this absolute idiot who tried to get me to give them one of my channels. I was considering going in and ranting talking about that, but I decided not to because I don't think you guys would appreciate the kind of stupid this person is.
Appreciate it. Anything else?
I'll make a blog post for you.
Anything else before we wrap up here, folks?
The lesson that we could take from this is that never let Mr. Ben choose what we're going to decide to CQ
Speaking of that, we do need to decide what we're going to be doing next week. I do know that Rain was suggesting that we do Titanic: The Legend Goes On. I know. No, he threw that into the ring.
Actually, I don't see that listed here on this.
It's not. He suggested it in the chat in Skype before we went to do this.
You know, I'd be willing to do that one myself.
I could throw it in on the list here. Titanic: Legend Goes On.
Because we all need to see the one scene that everyone must see in their life. And you know what I'm talking about, and I'm not going to spoil it.
What, the dog peeing on the captain?
No, it's the other one. It's the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever one has the... Okay,
it's
fine,
the one.
It
is the one with the scene that you're thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that one. It's not the one with the magical moonbeams. Actually, no, it might be the one with the magical moonbeams.
Well, we can get to both of those. We're probably going to get to both of those at some point.
Trust me, we must do Tentaclino, which is the sequel to the other Titanic animated movie. That film, Tentaclino, if you think this didn't make any sense, you wait till we get to Tentaclino, because the thing is with Tentaclino, it has a plot, but trust me, you'll wish it hadn't.
Should I go ahead, and I'm almost going to regret asking this, should we go ahead and, depending on how long they are, would it be feasible for us to do a double feature, Titanic: Legend Goes On and Tentaclino back to back, or would that just be... Should we just cut out the middleman and just shoot ourselves now?
The thing is with the, I think that they are actually not the ones that are linked. I'm sure the other, I think it's a different Titanic film that's linked to Tentaclino, not The Legend Goes On. I think The Legend Goes On is actually the other one that never got a sequel. I'll have to investigate it, but if it is the one that has Tentaclino as the sequel, I see why not. But yeah, I mean, so what we should probably do is if it is the one that doesn't have a sequel, then we'll just do that. If it is the one where Tentaclino is the sequel, perhaps we should do both.
So which one are we agreeing on?
Does that sound good?
The one with the scene the one with the scene I'm thinking of, or the one with the sequel? Which one are we doing next week?
I think we'll do the one with the scene you're thinking of. I think that's the one that Rain was suggesting that we do. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so
next week is the animated Titanic film, folks. Stick around because that one I can promise you we're going to have something to go with it anyway.
I better get prepping for that because you never know. I might need to do something while I'm doing something else.
Well, this is going to be a fun week next week. I can tell you that right now.
So until then. Take care, everyone.
Oh, dear God. What have we gotten ourselves into?